I'm extremely excited to present the first ever performance on U.S. soil, an ever diminishing honor given recent events, of one of the best bands in the world right now. Just an incredible duo. Sleaford Mods, voicing the kind of disgust and outrage at a shattered, broken capitalist system in England. They come to America with their electrifying live show, their fascinating, verbose, dense lyrics, and it was an incredible honor to host them. After the live set, we'll hear an interview with them. I want to thank Jason for being a good sport. He was in agonizing tooth pain. Jason, I hope that's been resolved. You guys were incredible. So, on that note, without further ado, it is an incredible honor to share one of the greatest bands going today, the one, the only, Sleaford Mods.
What to do, I didn't realise either, mate, I'm with you. I've been following white lines all my life. Touche turtle, jump the castle, avoid the disco dancer, no hassle. Doing beat like that with a kid at your mum's. Paramedics, you should have thought about that one. I'll stop her, boom, clear. What happened to Richard? All I can see is gear. Breathless, incinerate, processed cheese. Become what we ate, become what we are. A series 1 with dreams to reach a series 4. Drive, six packs, drive, white teeth, Kit Kat, take the money and run. Join the elite, you sold yourself to no one. Pied Piper, whiskey nose, the wonder wall fell down on you. A little ditty and it's all gone wrong. I don't expect the drum to sing along. A little ditty and it's all gone wrong. Whoa, a little ditty, a little ditty. I ain't a threat to leave me alone, flat called gamble. You know when I work there I got a bad feeling from the man. I can't work with someone like that again, son. A little ditty and it's all gone wrong. I don't expect the drum to sing along. That band from the 80s, that punk band, what we call the Queen's Park Rangers, have been around ages, you tall. We're all up in the top room of the pub, getting heavy with a past that didn't exist. The reshaped against the lead, mate, short ditch yarn in the. Have you been for a poo-poo barn? Nolly coat, dead faces, deaf, 9 to a cubicle, bed squeezing, screwing up faces. Last joke, push the wheels of the next big thing. You scratch my back, I don't scratch anything apart from my nads. I'm Mick, I'm born to be bland, chopped up in black leather, flints, death, currywurst, smashed, and in everything. A little ditty and it's all gone wrong. I don't expect the drum to sing along. A little ditty and it's all gone wrong. Well, a little ditty, a little ditty, a little ditty, a little ditty, mom. I don't expect the drum to sing along. Go! Pop round, mate, I'll give you a fiver. The land that time forgot is on repeat. I can hear the screams of people who wanna be me. They wanna shake my tongue and tell the others that they were the one who made me. Who made me. I got called an anarchist. That's for the middle class transporters. I don't want my dog on a string. That's gonna hurt the thing. We got jobs and a mortgage clan and a car with a smoky window down. Wow, to your life and lob it right up. It don't make sense on no look. The dinosaurs are stopped on Denmark Street. The boots of Hendrix lick my feet. I'm not bothered, I never was. It's a crap caravan on Tiswas. The dinosaurs are stuck and no way to get down. The meteor sinks its teeth in the ground. I'm not bothered, I never was. It's a crap gag from Spit the dog. Cameron's hairdresser got an MBE. I said to my wife, you better shoot me. It's all gone. Mum, what do? I tell my daughter it's not true. Well, tell my nipper it's all gone wrong. Even Pete Tom's got one. Get out the mood, dark rays. Get out the way. Get out the mood, dark rays. Get out the way. The dinosaurs are stomped on Denmark Street. The boots of Hendrix lick my feet. I'm not bothered, I never was. Here's a crap caravan on Tiswas. The dinosaurs are stuck and no one way to get down. The meteor sinks its teeth in the ground. I'm not bothered, I never was. Here's a crap gag from Spit the Dog, yeah. The Corgi, the palace gets it right. The Corgi, it's always warm at night. The Corgi, the driveway and the range. The Corgi, well, my old times, where will we be? Trench foot horror, it overtakes me. The yellow mist falls, and what we gonna do? History repeats like BBC Two. The Corgi, the palace gets it right. The Corgi, it's always warm at night. The Corgi, well, the driveway and the range. The Corgi, well, to make it obscure is a mark of a man, and live a life of freedom near the river in France. I ain't no Muffy Baker, the cake ain't for me. A 4-pint punter in the Chinese. The Corgi, the palace gets it right. The Corgi, it's always warm at night. The Corgi, the driveway and the range. The Corgi, well, don't take it up. The sun ain't gonna scream, no signs of rain, no signs of rain. Let's walk it down. The sun ain't gonna scream, no signs of rain, no signs of rain. Let's walk it down. The man ain't gonna scream, no signs of pain, no signs of pain. Let's walk it down. The man ain't gonna scream, no signs of pain, no signs of pain. Let's walk it down. The Corgi, the palace gets it right. The Corgi, it's always warm at night. The Corgi, the driveway and the range. The Corgi, oh, it's your... stains on bus windows. I don't wanna ruin my coat, but that's just the way it goes. Cheer up, you flying locusts, that's all I heard them say. St George's flag on white van, this is the human race. This is the human race. UKIP and your disgrace. Chopped heads on London streets. All you zombies, tweet, tweet, tweet. This is the human race. UKIP and your disgrace. Chopped heads on London streets. All you zombies, tweet, tweet, tweet.
Welcome to Infinite Distortion. I'm Bosch. We're sitting down today with Sleaford Mods from England. Gentlemen, welcome to the United States of America.
Hello.
Heyo.
I want to start off the interview by asking you how you think the media is doing covering you now that you've sort of emerged from, total obscurity into a much larger spotlight, and you watch this sort of circus begin. What is it like, and what's the experience been?
It's all right. Try and take it in your stride, I suppose. It's good for the band, isn't it? This is what you want. The idea is getting a band and get somewhere with it if you're into, music or whatever. So,
Yeah.
So you guys come from Nottingham, England. Do you want to, for American listeners perhaps unfamiliar with Nottingham, do you want to describe the city a little bit?
No, it's all right.
It's quiet.
Yeah, well, it's not.
No,
It's like any city.
Yeah.
It's like any city. Brick, rain, pub.
So over the past the past 8 years of the band's existence, like what kind of clubs were you playing when you started off Sleaford Mods?
Small clubs. We used to play this club in Nottingham called the Chameleon, and that's where we got it together. Wasn't it?
Yeah. It's the only place to really play in Notts that's got that's independent. It's got a good sound. Lots of touring bands would choose to play there. Certain nights people put on there because.
Yeah, it was good. It was before that. Before I met Andrew, I used to just play pubs and stuff like that, clubs, usual. Small places, about 200 maximum or whatever, 200 capacity.
Yeah, we did a lot of that as well, though.
Was it ultimately at the Chameleon where your paths crossed for the first time? Or?
Yeah. It's like the place. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's kind of reflects how small Nottingham is in that sense. It's the only place really that had an edge or had something going on,
They'd just allow bands to go in there and play regardless. Well, you had to have something about you, didn't you? But it was alternative, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
You didn't have to get on the so-called, live ladder, whatever.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about both of your experiences, like how you developed your craft over the years of your respective musical careers before joining forces?
Go on.
I used to be in loads of rock bands and
just everything. You know what I mean? Just having a go at everything. I think that's where we're quite similar. Jason Moore was singing and stuff.
Yeah,
but just making different kinds of music and enjoying doing it. I don't know.
Learning the ropes, so to speak. Loads of bands. It takes a long time. So I think we met each other at the right time for it, really. I think Andrew was more, he concentrated on production and music, and I just used to, my thing was singing, I suppose.
Andrew, I want to talk to you about your backing tracks. Have this like awesome like detective noir sort of feel to it. When I listen to the records, I think about it like it's walking around like a city where you keep taking turns on different streets, but and they're all different, but it all very clearly is part of the same sort of network.
Yeah.
And so song to song, there's this continuity that feels very real.
Right.
How do you prepare that?
Just do it. You know what I mean? I've been doing it for so long. I just do it now. I don't think about it as much. Yeah, I still enjoy doing it, so
is the process like you'll try out like lots of different combinations of drum and bass, and is it live samples you're drawing from, or is it all?
It's just sort of like a back catalogue of stuff, but then something old, you can make something new out of it if you're sampling, like if you're going to make a track, why make a new kick and a new snare? And I'm sure you've got loads of things lying around that you've just ignored.
Well, you were laughing about this earlier, but you have these wonderful hooks that sort of pop up 2/3 of the way into a lot of the songs will sort of like emerge into this like incredibly infectious bit. Is the process of writing those hooks different from writing the more driving bass and drum section of the piece?
No, it's just what fits, isn't it? It's just what works, and I could quite like minimal music as well. So for me, there's loads going on. There's enough going on, So adding one keyboard sounds like a lot.
A lot of the time, the vocals kind of put on he'll have like a beat from a primitive stage, and then the vocal will be put on, then he'll dress up around that. So that kind of dictates it sometimes. Just adding.
Yeah, it's definitely a case of less is more, because Jason's vocal adds so much to the track. To compete with it, would be the wrong way to go, I think.
So that's interesting. Jason, you must write voraciously to produce such like complex lyrical offerings. So when you sit down with Andrew, like what's that process of translating like when you're pulling from what must be a somewhat massive collection of writing?
Nothing really. You just got the writing there, so I'm so used to just putting it to the music straight away and just enjoying, sort of connecting it to the beat, that you don't really think about that. A lot of the time the songs start with the verse I've got from one idea, and then I'll go to another idea and then just take two verses from that and add that to none of it connects or makes sense. A lot of it's gibberish, but as long as it sounds good and it works.
I think it makes sense to you, doesn't it? You're not pretending to be, you're not trying to do a certain style of singing or a certain character. You're doing yourself, gibberish. So it's easier if you do yourself, because you're not pretending to be anything.
It's not total gibberish. It's just.
It makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like any of the moves or like the act of being a frontman in a rock band, like that experience translates over to this in any way, or is it sort of like a clean start for you?
No, it's just another form of music, but it's music that works. The idea is that you've got to create a formula that works, and everybody knows when it works or not. So when you find that, it's just another form of what you've been trying to do anyway. So no, it's just music.
I wanted to dig into your lyrics a little bit. The song "You're Brave" I find pretty fascinating. It seems to be talking a lot about sort of like a manufactured history of like looking at the past and saying, oh, like back then we were so strong and tall, and then you sort of seem to be poking that myth or exploring that narrative.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but it's just experiences and your reaction to the environments that you've been in. So. And you're just, you're talking about that in a kind of observational way or quite an aggressive way or rude way. But, putting it across how it was. A lot of the songs are just based on personal experience, but then that personal experience is obviously twisted a little bit and you make stuff up and add it to it,
On a similar note, I work an office job right now, and the song "Livable," both the phenomenal backing track, which I get stuck in my head all the time, but the lyrics themselves, it's very funny to be in an environment of professionalism, but at the same time you're all sharing the same shitter. Like you're all pissing in the same hole. And it's a weird experience to get used to.
Yeah.
It seems like the major skill that you have with your lyrics is like finding the daily minutia and then like sort of pulling that thread, and it sort of tends to find other things.
Yeah, if you concentrate on the bleakness of it, obviously day-to-day existence isn't consistently bleak, because you just end up topping yourself, wouldn't you? But it's finding that dark thread in it, everything, and especially with the routine, the 38-hour week, the routine, and now it's so unnatural, and there's nothing positive about that, really. So it's just concentrating on that.
So at this point, are you still working your day job?
No, I finished.
Wow. What's that feeling like?
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it. Yeah, because I've worked for so long, and it is getting used to it a little bit. I mean, it's great. You know, it's a great sense of liberation in some respects, but yeah, still getting used to it.
Do you feel like Sleaford Mod emerged from a community or a scene? Like, do you have any like peers? No.
I just met Andrew, and it really worked out, and that's it. You know, I was doing it a few years before that, and I stuck to what I thought I wanted to make in the sense of music. And, you know, one thing led to another. Met Andrew. I mean, it just fits.
Just all really apparent, you know, it was all really honest and just straight up, you know what I mean? And I think there were certain kinds of music that we both like. I've said this before, you know, and there's kind of an overlap, you know, with things that we both like, and things that we don't like. It's happened very quickly.
Would you say it's more the things that you like or don't like that drove the band? Because it's such a minimal sound. It seems...
but both, a mixture of both, you know.
I mean, when I met him, he was like, you know, feeling crap. I was feeling shit.
We both had enough, I think, almost, pretty much.
Sorry, when I met him, we were both, it was just crap, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's crap.
Not in the sense of... but in the sense creatively and the way we like to approach things and the environment that surrounded us when we did try and write stuff, it was similar in the sense of it was quite a crap atmosphere. And Andrew was completely perfect for it because he rid himself of any kind of fixed idea about belonging to a genre. He was just in no man's land with it. Yeah. So it's like, and that's perfect. Absolutely perfect, because he was really willing to sit there and listen to what I wanted. There was no ego, and then I tell him blah blah blah, and eventually he took that and created his own thing from it. So he made another side of what he does. You know, that came, especially with Divide and Exit. He really came into his own with it. I thought. It's all right.
This is an excellent segue. You just put out a widely acclaimed new record, Divide and Exit.
It's completely fresh. There's, you know, all the music belongs to me and Andrew. There's no samples. Before, a lot of it was samples, you know, from loops from old records. The idea was, after a while, I became aware of the fact that it needed to change if I wanted to keep, you know, push it forward. So, obviously, when I met Andrew, it was completely organic. So, yeah. What makes that more organic is that we did Wank as the first album and then Austerity Dogs, and they were both really good, but it was really sort of like a training camp, so to speak, for Divide and Exit. I think from that sound, the rant, the fast rant, the beat, the, you know, sort of like sparse beat, bass comes in, and all the other things that Andrew does with it really came into it. You know, I think this next album we're doing has moved on from that a little bit.
Moving to the live presentation, Andrew, I'm interested in what your experience is like on stage. I think we've very quickly become sort of an iconic figure, bobbing in the back.
Yeah,
you know.
It's just a lot of fun. You know, it's just great. It's just
because you're the performer and also the audience sort of at once, which is pretty special.
Yeah, it's just it's just brilliant watching looking at everybody and just the way people react. People that haven't heard it before, you know, losing their mind to it, and just the mixture of people is the nicest thing. The fact, I guess what we're saying, we're not part of a genre. I've never been part of a particular genre. Well, I suppose when I was younger, you know, I was into hard rock and the Buttle Surfers and all that kind of stuff, and whatever, you know, the Orb. But yeah, you know, it's I've always made my own music to listen to. You know, sort of lived in my own musical world. I suppose that's I'm lucky to have that, you know, and have had that, because other people have to subscribe to house music or something, you know. And I think if I'd have had that aspect, he wouldn't have been so into it. If I was going, oh yeah, that's great, Jay, let's put this, I don't know, you know.
House music's all right.
Yeah, it's all right, but I'm just talking about genres. I mean, if it was just drum and bass, if I was tailoring it to be part of some kind of some kind of dance music style or music style that already existed, you know. But I think that's kind of something I was bent on before that, was just trying to make different music, you know, trying to make dance music, but not dubstep and not drum and bass, you know. Something, just be creative with a sampler and see what you can make.
So as you move from playing these small pubs to playing sold out shows, how would you characterize the English music industry as you've experienced it?
Same, always just an industry, and it's just financially driven. If you enter into that fully, then you've got to be aware of the fact that whatever you create is going to have to adhere to somebody's plan to make money. The good things and bad things about that. The record industry itself has created loads of great songs. Do you know what I mean? You know, it pulls in writers, they pull in people, blah, blah, blah. Some of them are really good, obviously, but These days it's become more refined, and it's more, it's totally monopolised around money, you know.
Yeah, it's just bums on seats, isn't it? I think we've kind of tapped into some kind of mainstream in some way, you know, working class person or just general working person, which is a lot of people. Yeah.
So your relationship with Harbinger Sound is part of your story of this emergence, and I know that label tends to traffic more in noise and industrial and stuff like that. Well, what was it like getting to know Steve and getting to know the label?
Yeah, it's okay. He came to see us. I mean, Steve's just like feet on the ground, you know, cut and dry, brilliant to talk to, no pretense. So when he showed an interest in it, because obviously, you know, he had a label and stuff, and he was quite well renowned on that scene, and we used to play a lot at, you know, his gigs and stuff like that. I thought, yeah, well, why not? You know, nobody else was
definitely responsible initially, because we played at the Chameleon probably a couple of times, and the second time was some festival thing, and he saw it, and he did kind of frame it. You know, I think it was the first time that I was actually played on stage with Jay, because before that, you know, I wasn't doing that, and he was going, oh, you know, why don't you stand next to me playing the laptop, you know? So we did that, and then he saw that, and then we didn't. A lot of bands in Nottingham keep playing in Nottingham, and it's kind of a curse, you know, and we didn't do that. You know, he took us to Germany, and we played there, and it just kind of, I think it reflects if you do that, you know. And also he's got, like, you know, 15 years or whatever of running the label, and had some kind of contacts that were really cool people, you know. So it was just really good experiences initially, and it was wicked.
Yeah. So those German shows that sort of like ignited a following outside of essentially like your hometown, what do you think? Were they understanding the lyrics, do you think, or was the present?
Yeah, I mean, they speak English, a lot of them do, you know, so they get it.
You talk about a transformation in the underground scene on the song Under the Plastic. You talk a lot about how, like, the omnipresent technology, you know, the screens that dictate a lot of our communication and our identity have sort of infiltrated a scene that was once so opaque and so removed.
I mean, that song centres on, like, terrace culture, Under the Plastic and NCT. So it's not so much about, like, a scene that was once great. Well, it is a bit, I suppose, but it wasn't. You know, it's just about the way, like, nationalism affects people. And that's kind of like, you know, taking place of religion a little bit, where people now, you know, the flag is, you know, there's still that kind of sense of control, which is really depressing, you know. I think I'm really against it. So it's just about that, and, you know, the loneliness of being a weekend terrorist, going down, having a fight, going to the pub, then having a fight at the match, coming home. It centres on that, and just Under the Plastic, you know, building materials, brick, concrete, plastic. NCT stands for Nottingham City Transport, which is, you know, about buses and stuff.
Are you a football fan?
No. I watch it, it's all right, some of it's all right, but no, not really, no.
Do you have, like, an eventual dream or an arc to the band that you'd like to see come to fruition?
No, I mean, no, it's going all right. That's the idea is to keep it going, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't know. Just
keep it going, but it's got to be good. It's got to be interesting. There's no point else, you know, and there won't be. It will just end. So, but yeah, the idea. I mean, it's going good at the minute. It's inspiring, and we're not running out of ideas, or we don't even really have any ideas. We just go to studio, don't we? And that's it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you get certain inspiration.
But at the same time, we're full of ideas. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sure you've got some stuff in your phone, and I've got.
You can bang it out really easily and quickly, and it's interesting. And when you play it back, it sounds great.
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly the setup you have, it must be so exciting to be able to sit down and whatever is on your mind in that moment, and not have a torturous process of, like.
No, that's the idea of managing, pleasing yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's something for us. You know, we've said this before in interviews about, you know, playing in shit bands all the time and sick of ego guitarists and all that bollocks. You know what I mean? I've done tons of that as well. And, you know, it's like, say, some of the loops and things, parts of them come from some of them recordings of me playing stuff, you know. So, yeah, it's a lot better just to sit down with.
There's no compromise.
Well, you know, I've done that, you know what I mean? Been there, done that.
Well, you just play it, and if it sounds good to each other, if somebody's really against,
I mean, really, that's all anyone can do in it.
Yeah.
If we're sitting there after we've done something and we're like really into it, I mean, that's what we did in the first place. So that's kind of the plan now, you know.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
You know, if it's or not, you just won't do it. Either one of you will disagree, and you'll realise what they're saying. That's the beauty of working together, and it works. You know, it's a good balance. And that means a lot. So it saves time as well, and you just get in there and bang it out. We've been doing it for long enough now to not go in there and act like amateurs and just not know what to do. You know what to do. You've got a clear idea in your head. And it just comes out, and then you just work. If bits aren't right, you work on them. If you don't work, you chuck it and get something else. But generally, it really works. Most tunes we do, we really like. So, I mean, it's a classic band scenario, isn't it? It's everything that you dreamed a band would be when you started out. That's right. It's like reading you from a biography, isn't it, of famous bands. That's how it should be. It should be strong, and it should be different. It should stand out, and all those things. All the engineering is what we're interested in. You know, the rest obviously you take on board because it's your job. But like, yeah, it's the songs, isn't it? Always the songs.
So my final question for you is one that is actually going to be very appropriate for you, Jason. I ask this of everyone who comes in. If you were going to buy a record for a 10-year-old kid, what record would you buy that kid?
Locust Abortion Technician.
What's that?
It's the Butthole Surfers classic. Yeah.
I went to see that. Yeah.
I don't know. A 10-year-old kid. I don't really know what a 10-year-old's like.
But if you were going to leave your mark on an up and coming youngster,
I think just something by Marvin Gaye. What's going on? Something like that. Right. Something really classic, but still sounds edgy. I think. Or Alexander O'Neill, Luther Vandross.
Hearsay.
Yeah. Classic.
Well, in our hearts, we all want to be crooners,
It's a bit
wow,
grown up for
really
a 10-year-old,
really good album.
Mature for a 10-year-old. I'd go for a Locust Abortion Technician for a 10-year-old, definitely, because it's out there. And 10-year-old, you've got so much DMT in your head, you don't know what you're doing.
Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for coming by. By the time this airs, you'll have played your first show in America, and doubtlessly you'll be flown home with the accoutrements of heroes.
Yes.
Cheers.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Cheers.